raise your hand if you can hear me because, all right. Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce Rob Long, Delray Beach City Commissioner and Vice Mayor, and our future House Representative in Tallahassee. I first met Rob when he spoke at a club meeting that featured Young Democrats. At that time, Rob was president of the Young Democrats of Palm Beach County, and also on the panel was I think I can say, Rob, his now fiance, Alex Ayala, who has done great stuff also. She was vice president, and Christine Thirault, if I'm saying the name right, as well as one other speaker. Rob and I were trying to remember who that was. Someone, Mary Ann, but doesn't matter. They were great. They killed it. I mean, we were a bunch of old farts listening to these young people, and they killed it with their knowledge, enthusiasm, and poise. Rob's a civil engineer and community advocate. Prior to being elected to the city commission, he served 2 terms on the Palm Beach Soil and Water Conservation Board and was board chair for 4 years. Rob had previously announced his candidacy to run in next year's election for House District 90, which covers a large part of Delray Beach. Sadly, the election was moved up to this December after the untimely death of our beloved Representative Joe Casello. In the same vein as Joe, Rob has devoted himself to public service, first as a volunteer, now as a commissioner and vice mayor, and soon to be as a member of the Democratic caucus in the Florida State House. Rob is the only Democrat in the race, so there's no primary in September, and we all need to get behind him. This is a Democratic district, but we cannot take any chances. We need to ensure that our district remains in good Democratic hands. And Rob is exactly the type of young leader that we need. So let me turn it over to you, Rob. And thanks so much for coming.
Boy, what an intro. Oh, man. That's like if my ego wasn't big enough. Thank you so much, Michael. It's truly a pleasure to be here. And, I do remember that's probably about 8 years ago when we did that panel.
Yeah.
That was a while ago. And I know I've been in the Delray Dem Club since then many times, probably for candidate debates and stuff like that.
Right.
Multiple points. But I'm glad that you guys are still out here fighting the good fight. Delray needs to have a Dem Club. And so this is my city. I live in Delray. I serve for Delray. And so, Delray Dem Club, this is a big deal. So I'm really happy to be here with all of you. And so Michael covered a lot of ground, but I'll still give you a little bit of sort of where I came from and why I'm here right now and kind of what the game plan is. And some of this, and then we can talk about some of the stuff that's been going on in Delray Beach lately. You've probably seen some of it on the news. And then any questions you guys have. I want to keep it pretty conversational. I want us to just chat as a group. So I've lived here in Delray Beach since 2009 from Pennsylvania, Punxsutawney, home of the groundhog. Punxsutawney Phil. It's a little coal mining town and of 5,000 people. And like a little Appalachia type area of Pennsylvania, Western PA, the uncivilized side of PA, I say. So I went to Penn State for civil engineering.
Yay, Penn State.
Yes, you're a Penn State person?
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Really? I love it. I love it. I meet a lot of Penn State people down here, actually. So yeah, I came down here, got a job worked for a few different engineering firms over the years. I got my MBA from UF while I was down here, and really wanted to get involved in public service for a long time. As Michael said, I started out in the Soil and Water Conservation District. Really learned a lot about sustainability, about our water, about our ag community, and from there, been also serving on Delray Beach boards, different advisory boards. Started on the green board, went to the site plan review board, went to planning and zoning, and ended up running for commission on my 3rd year there now, which is the end of my my first term, and had intended to complete a full term. Would have ended next March, which would have given me plenty of time to ramp up before the November election. But I filed early. As you know, you can file while you're still in office. So I filed early, so I'd have plenty of time to fundraise and box out potential primary opponents. And then the unthinkable happened, and we lost Joe. And I feel like I'm still, frankly, processing that. I never saw that coming, and it's such a weird scenario. But I will say that the silver lining there is that I was so far ahead in terms of fundraising and in support and endorsements that no other Democrats got in the race, which also speaks to the unity of our local party here. I managed to get the endorsements of Senator Lori Berman, Tina Polsky, Mac Bernard, Kelly Skidmore, Tay Edmonds, Deborah Tendrich, Joe Casello, our whole delegation here. And because of that, I think it boxed out any serious contenders. And I'm so, so grateful to all those folks for coming in early and getting behind me. It made me feel like my hard work with the party over the years has paid off. And Mike alluded, I was Young Dems president between 2016 and 2020. I was a Biden delegate. I've made the rounds. It's very serious to me being a Democrat in Palm Beach County and in Delray Beach. And serving the public is a very serious thing. It's a calling, right? And it's something I'm very proud of, and it's what I'm passionate about, even though it's very difficult in Delray these days. Has anyone been following what's going on with the Pride streetscape?
Yeah.
So that's been a big thing lately over the last few days. But we had, I think, a symbolic victory on Tuesday. It's the most people I've ever seen show up to a Delray Beach Commission meeting. And the room was so packed, people were standing in the back and out in the lobby. And we only allowed an hour for public comment. We let people speak for 3 minutes. And we maxed out that time and we had to go over. And every person there was a handful of people that are speaking on other items, but 90% of them came there to speak about that, and they were all in favor of it. And all telling their stories, these passionate stories, just about people who want to be seen and want to be accepted. And it was so moving and emotional, and it worked. It worked. My colleagues wanted to cut bait and come up with sort of a consolation, and like West Palm did, which is okay. They did that. I'm not trying to throw shade at West Palm, but there's still a fight left here. We still have legal grounding to push back on this. And I pitched my colleagues. I was like, let's take this to the end here. Let's go down swinging if we're going to go down, and let's do this administrative hearing option. And no one wanted to do it initially, but after all the public commentary, everyone was on board with it. And so those moments where you see the public turn out and all that passion and emotion, and it actually moved the legislative body, that's inspiring. And you tend to get you can get jaded, you can get cynical when you're in the mix doing this stuff for a while, and moments like that you got to cling to, those type of victories. And so that was actually a big moment, I think, for the city last night, and it established Delray. Even though Delray is widely known as being sort of a dysfunctional city locally, it established us as a leader in the state in terms of fighting back for our community. I think that's so important because, as we all know, Delray Beach has always been a community built on acceptance, built on a community that celebrates its marginalized communities. I mean, this is our Pride Crosswalk. It's right in the middle of our arts district. It's a welcome mat in Delray Beach. It tells people that you're welcome here, that here you're seen, here you don't have to worry, here you're safe. And the fact that we're one of the only a handful of cities, a couple cities in the state fighting back, I'm so proud of that. Regardless of how it ends up, I'm proud of that. And so that's been happening lately. There's been a whole bunch of coverage on it. And then not quite as partisan, but it's hot off the press. We finally worked out the contract with our police union, which has been in the news quite a bit. Something I've been fighting to get done for months. We have, unfortunately, some anti-union members of our commission that really make things difficult. But we finally reached an agreement today. We've been losing officers or just going to other cities, going to the sheriff's office, and it's caused much problems. So, but today we had a hearing and we came to a resolution, and we worked it out. I think we offered them a really fair, really competitive contract that'll keep good officers here. We actually have a great police department in Delray Beach. We have a department that is very community focused, that goes out into the community. People recognize them, people know them. We have our ice cream. Have you guys seen the ice cream truck around? Yeah, we have an ice cream truck. It's paid for by a nonprofit called Delray Citizens for Delray Police. And it's an ice cream truck. And the cops drive around, they go into the communities and set up little events. And we have an amazing police department. And we were seeing it being gutted because of this issue. We were seeing all this attrition. But now I'm hoping we can kind of reset. And our former police chief left during this debacle, and our interim chief was our assistant chief, which is Daryl Hunter. And as of this week, he has been named as our permanent chief, and he has really stepped up to the plate. He is awesome. He's excellent. He's a black man. He's very much supported in the community. He's a local guy. So I'm very excited for the future of our police department. And if you would have asked me last week, that would not have been my answer. So anyway, that's what's going on in Delray Beach right now. That's my bulletin little update. Now about this campaign, right? So my 18-month campaign turned into like a 4-month campaign, 5-month campaign, I guess. So I don't, as Michael mentioned, no primary. That was the biggest hurdle of this campaign. Joe Casello won this race last time by like 12 points, biggest margin in the county. So this technically is considered the most safe Democratic seat in the county. So of course, when a seat like that opens, Democrats are going to be looking at it. And so I was very concerned about a primary. And the unfortunate situation did lead to this moment where no Democrats filed. It's a very short qualifying period. But 2 Republicans filed. One of them's the dude who ran against Joe last time, named Bill Reicheter, guy out of Boynton. And then some lady named Maria Zach, who's like a QAnon person, apparently. So they're going to get to duke it out on September 30th. We can sit back and watch. Go ahead. There's an NPA in the mix as well. Her name's Karen Yay, something, whatever. Yeah. She seems a bit wacky. I asked some folks about her. She comes into Boynton Beach meetings a lot, and she seems like a character, we'll say. But point of the matter is, and I don't mind saying, these aren't serious people. These aren't serious competitive candidates. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's not a persuasive campaign, really. It's a showing up campaign and people voting, whether it's a D or an R. That's what this is going to come down to. So the general is on December 9th. Weird timing for an election, right? It's between Christmas and Thanksgiving. No one's paying attention. People aren't even in town. And so that's the unpredictable element here, right? And also it's the only game in town. And so if this is a normal cycle, like next year when I have to run again, I don't see the Republicans putting a lot of resources behind this campaign because it's not close. And there's a lot closer races they're going to devote money to. But this is the only game in town right now. It's very public. So they might put more money behind it towards whatever wacko wins. And so we don't know. So I got to treat this thing pretty seriously. Not that I wouldn't, but because of the unpredictable nature of the timing and the funding on the other side, we're not going to take anything for granted. We're going to leave it all on the field. So now is a big fundraising push. That's what we're doing now. That's what I've been doing since February. Fundraising. But that's the name of the game. You guys will see a lot of collateral starting to roll out soon. We don't have much yet. Working on signs, working on t-shirts, working on palm cards, all that good stuff. You will start to see that stuff rolling out soon. But there's no real rush on that right now. We don't even know who the opponent's going to be yet, right? So we're just focused on fundraising, showing up to community events, getting out there. By the way, last night was a memorial for Joe Casello at Copper Point, where he used to spend a lot of time, and it was packed. You couldn't even get in the door. There were so many people there to pay their respect, and it was a fun event. It was really nice. People just hanging out, having beers, and then in the back, we all kind of went to the back, and the people who knew him really well took turns telling stories about Joe. It was really nice. It was very emotional. It was really, really a nice event, and it was a nice tribute to Joe. We all got little golf balls that said Joe Casello on them. He's an avid golfer, So I got big shoes to fill up there, right? So what do I want to do up there? Why am I even doing this? right? It's good. I think it's a fair question. Why be a Democrat in Tallahassee at all these days? Um, right? It's a crazy thing to do. If you guys, I'm sure you guys knew Joe. I'm sure he came in here and spoke to the group. Joe actually got stuff done up there. He did in a very quiet way. Joe was never about grandstanding or taking credit. He got a lot done. He worked across the aisle. That he spoke with the Speaker of the House, Danny Perez, the night before he passed away. Danny called him to promise to get a couple of his bills through that didn't make it through last time. That's how much respect Joe had on the other side of the aisle, and that's critical. Now, I know sometimes folks don't like to hear that, but you have to work with Republicans to get anything done in Tallahassee. You just do. And that's how I operate. I'm not going up there to be an activist. I shoot real straight with people on that. I'm not going up there to grandstand or be a bomb thrower. That's not my style. I want to bring money back to Delray Beach and Boynton Beach. That's what the district is, by the way, to clarify. It covers all of Delray Beach municipal limits, all of Boynton Beach municipal limits, and then a few little of those coastal towns like Ocean Ridge and Briny Breezes and Gulfstream, and I think the town of Gulf. That's the whole district. So a lot of infrastructure in that district, right? So it's critical that we bring money back to the district. And to get any bills passed, you can't do it without a Republican sponsor, period. You can't do it. You cannot get a bill passed without a Republican sponsor. So if you're up there to throw bombs, you don't get any bills passed. I don't want to be the guy that gets no bills passed. So my goal is to follow in Joe's footsteps as much as possible because he did good work up there and had a lot of great relationships. One of his big focuses up there was supporting public safety, supporting our firefighters and police. That's something I do here in Delray Beach and something I'm certainly going to continue up there. My other passion, as you guys know, is the environment. It's water quality. One of the crusades I've been able to lead here in my time on soil and water and then at the commission is the PFAS, the forever chemicals, right? I helped lead a crusade that eventually got the city of Delray Beach in a class action that ended up effectuating billions of dollars in settlements. We got $14 million for Delray Beach. And that's going to go towards our new water treatment facility. That was the other mission that I had. I was like, that project has been kicked down the road for decades. Our water treatment facility in Delray Beach, 70 years old. 70 years old. The city has tripled in population since it was built. So we are finally building a new water treatment facility, and it's going to have technology in it, nanofiltration technology that will remove PFAS from our water. We'll have some of the cleanest water in the county in Delray Beach. So I'm extremely proud of that. Water quality, environmental sustainability, those are things that passion that came out of, my education in civil engineering, environmental engineering is what first led me into public service. And so that's going to guide a lot of things that I really focus on up in Tallahassee. And then obviously my fight for the LGBTQ plus community and other marginalized communities will obviously be a fight. And listen, I'm going to obviously be behind all the social issues that the Democrats stand for, whether it's women's productive freedom, whether it's, as I said, protecting our marginalized communities, affordable housing, all of that stuff. You can always count on me going to the mat for all those things, period. But the things that I'm going to try and drive in terms of where am I going to find ways to work across the aisle and actually get stuff done, I think sustainability, affordable housing, and public safety. Those are the things that you can get bipartisan support on. And those are the things that I'm going to really be trying to run up the middle where I can, if that makes sense. But it's going to be weird. This is a weird election. Assuming everything works out, I'm going to miss all the committee weeks. They'll be done. I'm going to miss all the deadlines to even file bills. So I'll have to get some kind of special dispensation and file them late. So I'm going to be hitting the ground running. I won't even have there's usually a 2-day sort of orientation that freshmen get. I'm going to have some weird sort of truncated version of that. And so it's going to be weird, but I'm keeping on Joe's amazing staff. You guys probably know Brian Bees. He shows up to everything. So I'm keeping Brian on. He called me and was like, will you consider keeping me on? I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like, please God, stay on. I was like, you're gonna have to show me what to do. Like, your job is gonna be to I told him, I was like, your main job is gonna be to make me look not like an idiot. Just save me from looking like an idiot as much as possible. Because I'm jumping right into the mix. Yeah, I'm not an idiot. That usually helps. If you just go up and tell people you're not an idiot, they usually believe you. Um, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah. They call us red shirts. That's the term. You heard that? That's what they call freshmen up there, red shirts. So I just, I don't know so I'm a red shirt next year too, apparently. I'm still because I'll be part of the freshman class. This is like a bonus session, you know? It's weird. I don't know. I'm trying to learn all the Tallahassee jargon. It's a whole other world up there. Um,
Sports.
maybe. I don't know. Is that a soccer term or something?
Sports. Sports.
Redshirt is freshman.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, then that tracks. It's probably a sports analogy. Yeah.
That's what it's. That's how I do.
That's why they pay the big bucks. Yeah, you went to Penn State, so you're smart. Yeah. Well, listen, what kind of questions do you guys have?
Got one about.
Let me start off and end
Yeah.
off from my end, which is to say that was a great presentation, Rob. I mean,
Now shoot
I've
from the
known you,
hip.
for years, but I didn't know a lot of what you said, and I really liked what you had to say. I think it's absolutely the right attitude going up there, and not throwing bombs. I mean, I was just telling my family here about you and about what it's like going up as part of the super minority.
Yeah.
You know, and but I remember Joe saying the same thing about working across the aisle and, having, an even sort of temperament. Uh, and I think it's a great thing. I mean, I think you're going to be great there. And we're going to do everything we can to help get you elected. So that said, I'm gonna turn it over to my colleagues down there and uh, sit down to dinner and let them ask you all the questions. But
Stick
thank
around.
you so much.
Stick
Really.
around at
What's
least
that,
for this.
David?
Yeah, stick around at least for this one. So with all this
Okay.
new water treatment stuff,
Yeah.
are you telling that whole thing Michael put in his house with the reverse osmosis and everything? Can we find out now?
Yeah, you don't need it now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Listen,
Michael.
listen, we haven't even broke ground on it yet, so it's gonna be a minute till we have it. So keep your system in place. You can't have your water.
Yeah, no, Rob. Somebody told me that they years ago when I got it, they called up and they spoke to the city engineer for like an hour, about the PFAS and and he said that it would be at least a decade before there was a something in place that Boynton and Boca both had it, but we didn't have it in Delray. So I'm very happy with the system I have.
I'm jealous. I wish I had it.
Yeah,
I think in the next
so,
3-ish years, our system, or we could have our plan done. Like 2028 is what they're saying.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have one too.
Who wants to? I saw your hand first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's more of a comment. I think it's great that you enumerated 3 main things. I think sometimes we're not cohesive with our message
Yeah.
and we have too many fragmented messages.
Yeah.
There's a lot to fragment now.
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But I like the fact that you talked about public safety and water.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Glad it landed. I saw yours next.
Yeah, I just had a question on the intersection downtown. I read somewhere today that FDOT went into Orlando
Yes.
and repainted it.
Is that
Do we have a
horrible?
picture of that?
Yeah.
When was
that?
Yeah, that last night. Last night. Yep.
What happened?
So, and they had a crosswalk in Orlando that was a memorial to Pulse nightclub shooting. And you know what? Ours is too. That's when ours was put in 2021. It was for the same reason. And HRC paid for it along with I forget the name of the foundation was that does AIDS research. That's who paid for ours. It was done though as a memorial for the Pulse nightclub victims. And so Orlando has a similar one, and but they didn't apparently get the same letter we did from FDOT, so their situation was a little more murky. But apparently they came in the middle of the night and paved over it. And Carlos Guillermo Smith, you guys know who he is, a state senator, who's gay. He's really good. He put out a whole video today, just infuriated over it. And the whole city's up in arms over it, as they should be. So I found out today, literally during our hearing, and I turned to our city manager and I'm like, are we going to put surveillance out for ours or have police surveillance? And he's like, let me talk to our chief. He's like, I have to be careful. I'm like, I'm putting it on the record that I want surveillance. And I don't think the same thing will happen here because we have responded to the letter publicly and we are following the process that they laid out for us. They gave us an option to challenge what they said at the administrative hearing. And we have publicly put on the record that we are following that process. And so I did an interview about this earlier and someone asked me and I said, if they come and tear up and sandblast our intersection or paint over it under the cover of night, it's trespassing and destruction of property. These are city streets. That isn't a state road. These are Delray owned, Delray maintained streets. And I maintain they have no right to do it, period. But especially when we're in the middle of an administrative process that they've more or less agreed to because they sent us the process in the first place. So they come in and destroy our intersection. I see that as a crime. It's a crime.
There's a lot of that going on.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I'd call it a hate crime, frankly, at this point. So you guys know Nicholas Coppola, right? He's a good friend. He was at the thing today and he's like, I'm gonna camp out there and watch for him. I was like, good. I was like, let me know. Let me know if anyone shows up trying to paint over it. I'll be there. And I'll call the police. I'll call the police. But I don't think it'll happen in Delray, but it's crazy that they did that. And the fact that they did it with probably the most important one in the state that represents that horrific incident just shows that this isn't about safety. It never was, right? That's the pretext. It's about safety. Bullshit. It's about hate. It's about cruelty. It's about silencing people. Why else would they start there? You know, they're making a point.
Well, on that vein, since Texas got the approval for redistricting, I think Florida probably will follow suit.
Yep.
And how can we not have that happen to us?
I don't know because it's gonna happen before midterms. I don't know how we stop it, frankly.
Oh, God.
What about registering as independents?
I don't know. I don't know if that would help. I don't know. I don't know what the strategy is to push back against that, frankly, at this point.
Register as a Republican until the election's
Then
over.
vote Democratic.
If we don't have a primary.
I don't want to register as a Republican, but I would register as an independent.
Yeah,
To my heart.
yeah.
Yeah.
My parents would roll over.
And so would my grandfather.
I don't know. I need to know more about it before I could give any cogent sort of tactical insights on what to do.
Prepared for.
You'd have to do it on such a wide and organized scale to make any sort of difference that I don't know. But let's,
On the radio.
yeah, it'd be a tough one. I think I saw you back here was
Yeah,
it?
about the water mitigation projects that are going on. I reside in the Lindale area
Yeah,
and I was talking to the head engineer project one day. And he was giving us a timeline of about a year down the road. Well, we're experiencing is our whole community is like broken up there. And it's in terms of walkability, in terms of safety, and it's just like, I mean, they're trying to do a job, I understand, probably trying to do it quite well, but they're just taking their time. And they're talking now, I'm hearing, I was talking to the engineer another time, same gentleman, he told me that they're probably gonna be cost overruns with these projects.
What?
And
which projects are you referring to? exactly?
there's my Southwest 10 and Lindell,
Yeah.
that area by the by the lagoon and the Target.
Where they're doing like sidewalks and
Yeah,
stuff.
doing sidewalk.
Yeah.
Drainage, and I mean, it turned this into a massive, the crew,
Yeah.
DOT, I guess it has turned it into a big, huge project. And what I'm wondering is like, what's the timeline of this? And also, how is it affecting the local drinking water supplies? Because I've been buying as many of my neighbors have been buying, bottled water, and I can run into quite expensive for a while. So I'm wondering, like, if you can give me an idea of the timeline, and if you know any information.
I can get back to you on that. I just don't know offhand. I didn't know they were still doing that much
Yeah.
on Southwest 10th. I thought they had wrapped most of that up
No,
because
it's-
they just started the old Germantown Road project with all the sidewalk. Oh, I live off that road, so I'm like so excited about it. But that's a TPA funded project though. So the city's part of it, but the TPA is paying for most of it. But
How's that affecting our local drinking? That's also.
I mean, it shouldn't impact your drinking water. We have pretty deep reservoir. And the wells tap in pretty deep. I'd be surprised if this like sort of surface level infrastructure work had any impact on it.
Because I don't know how much safer this bottled water is with the PFA chemical.
Yeah, right. You're probably better off not drinking it. This stuff's full of
Yeah,
PFAS.
that's
Still drink it all the time.
Adulterated.
Just any healthier?
Yeah, God, that's what I mean. Like God forbid it's ever out in the sun. It's full of whatever. I'll find out. Let me find out for you because I frankly don't know, but I can call our public works director and get an update on that one. I didn't know it was still ongoing, if I'm being honest.
My name, contact information's on the guest list. So my name's Wayne.
Okay, I'll get it. Or I'll have Michael send it to me.
I think you're genuinely like right on the issues.
Oh, thank you.
My kind of candidate.
I appreciate that.
Got my vote.
Thank you.
No doubt.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I'll get an update for you, Michael.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a topic, or ask you a question about a topic that always falls to the bottom of the list, that's public education,
Yeah.
siphoning off public
Mhm.
education, so-called, people know me, know this is my neck right there, to so-called private schools,
Yep.
which are, according to the, Orlando Sentinel's investigation, 80% religious, so you've got that concept from it. And most of them aren't even really schools. And the past few months, DeSantis has just increased that amount of money, making it worse. I also have a Read Van Books project that I was telling you about. And by the way, now the National Organization of Women just won a lawsuit, federal judge, which he came down on their side and against DeSantis on the banned books issue. Well, whether he will, that's good, whether he will appeal, I don't know, but that's another. But my question is, I love your approach that you're gonna go in ready to work with the other side, because you have no choice, you're not gonna get anything.
Yeah.
But with this issue, I can't see them moving an inch, so all I'm asking is, if
tricky.
you could keep it in mind,
Of course.
to look for what ways we can utilize to prevent, again, the siphoning off of money for public education, which is democracy,
Right.
into these private schools. You want to send your kid to a private school? Be my guest. You pay for it. You know, you
No, they're privatizing education. State.
It's private. Again, 80% of them are religious schools. We found out, and
They're also indoctrinating our children.
And
but
it's
yeah.
terribly indoctrinating,
Mhm.
teaching that there was no evolution.
Yeah.
That it didn't exist, that Christ walked with Northern Europeans.
And they have a whole different version of slavery.
Slavery did this.
Right. It's terrible.
With public, I find it.
With these voucher programs and stuff. Yeah. Thank you.
But anything that you can do once you're settled in.
I got your contact here, Wayne. So, you know, my fiance was a school board member. Alexandra was 20 to 2024, she was a school board member. So education is extremely important to me as well. Yeah, of course. That, like you said, though, we're up against it there. They're running a whole scam. They all of them have like you know how many?
Like the Hope Foundation.
Yeah, it's a whole massive grift for people making money.
Do they pay the parents the money or
Yes.
is the parents get
Parents
the
get a
money?
voucher, right?
Parents
Where-
get the money.
where-
You can go to charter school and you get a voucher from the state. Or you go to private school, you get a voucher from the state.
Schools.
So that money gets sent directly then from the state.
They're-
They get sent to the parents, but that's money that like
Picking up
people who
a
go to
tab
public school should.
To have a student attend a private school of the parents.
And I have
Which is
been writing
totally ridiculous.
Isn't that crazy?
That's-
for this,
Great.
I've been writing articles about this, I've been writing letters to the editor, my organization.
Well,
working on.
Not only that,
It
the,
didn't have any, so we can't do one thing, we can't stop it.
the standardized testing is crushing schools too, because they have these awful standardized tests, and then the schools that do poorly are the ones that don't get funding. It's backwards.
Well, you know what?
So it's a negative feedback loop.
Well,
Then
then
they can't get the grades up because they don't have good teachers, they don't have funding. Teachers are spending their own money to like bring in supplies for the kids. And we are like 48th or 49th in the country in terms of teacher pay. It's such a bad situation. Delray Beach does not have like awesome schools right now because of a lot of this. Delray suffers because of that.
Can I just add one more thing? DeSantis is so crazy. And you're so right. I mean, we're at the bottom. He said we have a #1 school system. Or, you know, when it comes to third grade reading level, when it comes to SAT scores, it's just a 2 But he came up with his own equivalent to the SATs. It's like having, you don't like your driver's license test, so we'll have our own, be sure you pass. That's how bad it is, so.
Like
All right,
everything
I'll-
else they do is a scam.
That was very good. I'm so upset.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary stuff. It's gonna make things tough for the next generation.
I should know better, but how's the vote for December 9th? Are we getting mail ballots? Or is
Yeah.
it- We do get mail ballots.
Yeah. That's gonna be a big part of the campaign. It's vote by mail choice.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
people are gonna be traveling. A lot of people in this area like aren't here in December. You know, so we need to make sure they get a ballot wherever they are. I think it's forwarded.
I actually am traveling right before and right after I checked.
Right,
To
okay.
make sure I can vote on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
So you have to
Yeah.
reapply for a ballot
Every
each
10 years.
election now.
Basically.
every other year. Yeah, it lasts for 2 years.
It's every year.
Amazing.
But you can find out online whether
Yeah,
they were.
oh, yeah. Well, just to be on the same.
There's rarely elections on, like,
Reapplied.
Odd years.
After the midterm.
Yeah. So it would, if you applied for 2024, you probably have it. You'd have to renew for 26. You probably already are.
After 2024.
That's the upside is you probably, if you voted in 2024, you're probably good to go. You probably, right, unless you applied after the election.
Here's 2024, we have to
Really?
Yes.
That was the cycle?
But I think a couple days after the election, you had to apply.
Is that what you had to do it?
Yep, you have to.
But you can do it any time.
Because
after that.
I called in earlier and she
Told her.
said to me, why don't you wait till next week? and call in?"
So that's gonna be where I lean on the clubs for help, where I lean on the party for help. Getting people signed up for vote by mail. It's gonna be critical for this.
It's a major phone bank right now,
Yeah?
and some of us here made sure that they added you into it.
Oh, thank you.
It's, Chris, I forget his last name, he's the new regional director
Okay,
of communications for the Florida Democratic Party, kind of put this together,
yeah,
and then we had it adjusted. The verbiage in it, so
that's
that,
great.
you know, I can email you the script so you can see what it says.
Yes, please do.
It's all of District 90.
Okay, good. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. And I've spoken with Howard about it. I've spoken with Nikki Freed about it. I spoke with Ethan about it. He's lining up something with the high school devs, do some phone banking and
They are
stuff.
something. We
Yeah.
had some of them at the DEC.
I was there, yeah. They're great. So I'm excited to really start hitting the phones, it's door knocking and all that stuff. So
Yeah, this is all pointless because Trump has said we're getting rid of mail-in voting and that's all there is to it.
yeah,
I don't understand the whole hatred of it. When Democrats, had the advantage, okay, but now Republicans were using.
yeah, I don't get it. There's a lot of Republicans use it now. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's weird. And you know, I took the tour, Wendy Link does the tour. I'm a, retired computer analyst, and I'm looking at it going, I don't know how I would game.
Right.
It
Yeah.
is awfully secure.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't
Yeah.
understand. Maybe you could slip one or two in if you really had someone on the inside. But to do anything that would affect an election is just, beyond.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, it's about the safest way you can do it.
I think it's the safest way to vote.
That's right.
Actually, one more thing. The thing that bothered me about mail-in voting originally when they were first pushing it was the thought of a man and a woman sitting down for dinner, and the man, looking at who she's voting for. That bothered me, that within a family, you would have pressure.
I mean, that's gonna happen either way.
That's
That's true. I mean, I guess
I was a little worried about that part of it, but
I always, since I've always been in like local office, I've always been a huge proponent of it because people don't know anything about the local candidates typically, and it gives them a chance to research when they vote. If you go in and vote, you're like just picking names or you leave them blank, right? 'Cause you're not going to have people. I go in, I don't know what half of them are. I'm like in the middle of this stuff. I'm like, who are these judges?
Yeah.
Or like you're looking at all these amendments. You got to look them up. And so being able to have the time to sit down and look up voting guides and like look up articles and endorsements and stuff, I think is critical. I think it's critical. It helps the electorate be more educated. So vote by mail it's crucial, especially in local elections, to get quality people in. I can tell you what happens when you don't have quality people, as I serve with a couple of them.
Yeah, so the funny thing is people come up to me and say, well, I have no trouble going to vote in person. There's never a line because we're voting by mail.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
So Rob, I'm in Boynton and our precinct captain, he had called, he's up in Buffalo right now, but he's said we're setting up the phone bank for you.
Oh,
So when do you want us to start, and name recognition, we could already get that out, or do you
Yeah.
want us to wait till after the Republican
Like I said,
primary?
I think we can start as soon as you guys are up for it,
Okay, he'll be back in
Why
a
not?
couple weeks, yeah.
Why not? And let me know. I'll come hang out with you guys
Oh,
and stuff whenever
okay.
I can.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're starting to, we're gonna have collateral and stuff ready soon. We'll have signs and stuff. We're working on all that. That's just,
You respond to phone?
So you can make calls and stuff.
that'd be great. I'd love it.
But
Yeah.
I don't think I have your email.
I'll give it to you. It's just roblong13 at Gmail. Actually, I'll give you my campaign email. I should start using that actually. It's rob@robforflorida.com. The word for, not the letter.
Rob for Florida.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. So
So Rob, I do t-shirts and you can have anything you want to cost, and my
Oh.
screener is in Delray and he has a definite down.
awesome.
Terrific.
Oh, I love it.
I
Okay.
give him the card.
Yes, I'll get that. Let me get that. I appreciate that.
Did you do them for tennis clubs too? I got.
Only for candidates like Rob.
Oh, okay.
But my guy he's down and he won't do
Ain't very
it.
big tennis
I love it.
Is it the numeral 4?
No, the word for FOR. Yeah. Rob for Florida. Rob@robforflorida.com.
Rob, do you have a couple of palm cards relevant to multi?
I don't have them yet. That's something we're working on.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have them. We'll have them in the next few weeks.
I just spread the word out pretty quickly.
I appreciate that. I'll give you a whole box. I'll give you a bunch, but
I'll do the traffic. I mean, I've done it in New York.
I
It's a good
appreciate
way to
that.
get the word, and see out.
Oh yeah,
Exposure, I'd say.
we're gonna do door hangers, and I'm gonna have palm cards to hand out at events, and we're gonna have signs. We're gonna have we're gonna do all of it.
Do a postcard party here?
Yeah,
Oh.
I love that. I love that idea.
We should probably.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Yep. Yep. So one of the reasons we were holding off a little bit, I mean, part of it, it's like this was early up until a couple weeks ago. We didn't need to think about any of this stuff yet. That's part of it. And so I need new campaign pictures. I gotta do a whole photo shoot in a couple weeks. That's part of it. The other part is I'm waiting on some of the endorsements to shake out. I'm waiting. I feel very good about getting county fires endorsement, and I want to have that. I got the PBA, which is the police union, and I want to be able to stay supported by our first responders. That goes a long way with MPAs, with people who aren't like inherently political, knowing that, I have the support of public safety unions. That goes a long way. And I want to make sure that I'm able to include that on the stuff we start putting out. So I should hear any day now about it. I feel really optimistic. So I want to include that, even on some of the signs that we're going to do. We're going to do some of the bigger signs. I want to do big ones and get stickers made so I can just leave them up, because I got to go right back into an election next year. So I'm just going to put re-elect, like re in front of it, and then just change the date. Literally, I told my campaign, I'm like, let's put them up. I know a few folks that will let me leave them up on private property that's like highly visible. I'm like, we're going to put them up. We're going to leave them. Why not? I don't have to buy new ones. They're
Just leave enough room for the re in front of it.
exactly. Got enough room for the re, and then enough room we can put a sticker over it and change the date.
Brilliant thinking. This is an engineer.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, but they're expensive. They're hundreds of dollars for those big signs. You burn through your campaign funds pretty quick with those if you're not careful. So
Good stuff from Brian B's, for Joe when he was running.
yeah.
Is Brian still gonna be a good contact?
So yes, he is. Brian's gonna be part of the team, thank God. That's what I was saying. His job is to make me not look like an idiot. Brian's great, and I'm keeping Christy Fernley on too. She's the LA up in Tallahassee that's been up there for 25 years, knows everybody on both sides of the aisle. And so I'm stoked. She worked for Dave Silvers for a long time. And she wants to go back to Dave when he wins state senate. But I got her for a year, and so I'm gonna really milk that, because she'll help me know the lay of the land. I'm sure you guys heard about that race. Yvette Drucker got out, and so Dave Silvers kind of has a glide path now. Did you guys know about that?
So what?
He has a straight shot now, more or less. Probably won't have a primary. So, did you guys know about the whole thing? Lori's Senate seat. It was Dave Silvers and Yvette Drucker were both filed for it. Yvette Drucker is a Boca Raton commissioner, council member. They called it council there. And she was supported by Lori, and then Dave Silvers is a long time. Did 4 terms at the, as a House member, and they were running against each other, and it was going to be a brutal primary. It was going to really divide the party. And as of this week, Yvette now is filing to run for Palm Beach County Clerk, and so she's out of that race, which is great. So they negotiated that, which is
Against Joe Caruso?
no, Joe's out.
But Mike, what's his face?
Mike Caruso just got appointed, so it'll be against Mike Caruso. Yeah, yeah. And Tracy Caruso's wife is running for his seat up there.
Yeah.
Against a guy named John Maples. And John Maples is going to be funded by the Speaker of the House, Danny Perez. And the Carusos are very beloved by the governor because they stuck by him. In fact, Mike got put the running joke is his office got moved to the basement because he was supporting the governor. There's this war going on between the governor and the Speaker of the House. They're this inner Republican battle. And Mike's on one side of it, and they're going to fund this other guy against Tracy now because of that. So it's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be fun to watch these Republicans in their primaries just beat up on each other. It'll be interesting. But anyway, it's great to see these Democrats, both in my case and now in Dave Silver's case, and getting out of each other's ways. I hate seeing good Democrats battling each other in these primaries. It's a waste of time and resources. It divides it divides people. It's stupid. No, it's bad. It's terrible. And so it makes me happy to see these primaries that people figure it out and find different paths. So and they're both friends of mine. So I was like, I gotta stay out of this one. Now I can, yeah.
You won't be endorsing one?
What's that?
You won't be endorsing one?
I'm not endorsing. Listen, the best thing about running for office is you don't have to endorse anyone. That's the excuse. I'm a candidate. I'm not endorsing. As endorsing sucks because you end up, someone's always mad at you when you do. Anyway, go ahead. I'm trying to think of something really cheesy that has the word long in it, think long term or long. You know what I mean? Something like that. Something that's memorable. Yeah, rob you blind. Yeah. The my opponent during my Delray commission run, they had some good taglines they used against me, Rob wrong for Delray and stuff like that. It's pretty good. but maybe that's some of that stuff will come back out. But yeah, something there's I gotta throw long in there. It's gonna be super cheesy, but like I want people to remember it. We haven't figured it out yet, but we'll have something. Well,
For your seat, do you think, or do you know?
no, I'm glad you asked me that. Thank you. A good friend of mine named Judy Malika. She runs Friends of Delray. If you any of you get that newsletter. So Judy runs that. She's the one who does all the interviews. She's really good. She's on planning and zoning right now. I pointed her to it. She's deeply immersed in the city. She's a Democrat, obviously. She shares all my values. She's super knowledgeable. She was here recently when I was here for God, what was it? Oh, it was a round table that Michael hosted with Yvonne Odom and some other ladies from the set.
Yeah.
That's where we started last.
That's what it was. I couldn't remember what it was. She was there.
Oh, right.
Yes,
Okay.
it was awesome. And yeah, Judy was there for that. She's
Juneteenth.
yes, for Juneteenth. That's what it was. I was like, what? I was like, that had to be a specific day. Yeah. Um,
That's never before.
that's what it was. I could picture being here. I couldn't remember what it was for either. Judy Malika. She's filed. She's out there raising money right now. She is great. I will be working a lot behind the scenes to help her get elected.
And Nancy Cannon's running her. campaign.
Nancy, exactly. Nancy's running point right now, but so my team is Eric Johnson, who runs a lot of the campaigns for the legislators, and Andrew Dolberg, who's a good friend of mine who works on campaigns. They are also running Judy's campaign, and Nancy's more or less like her like on the ground person, like doing a lot of the running around type stuff, which Nancy's great at. So Judy has a really good team behind her, and I'll be working really. She's really familiar with the issue. She knows Delray backwards and forwards, so she's gonna be great up there. We're gonna work really hard to get her in.
And she was in March.
She runs in March.
Together here before then.
100%. You guys should definitely have her in. She's familiar with the club, obviously, have her come in. I'm sure you guys will have debates and stuff. The other person filed for that seat is named Dolores Rangel. She's very nice. She used to work at the city. She was the assistant. She was like a secretary, more or less. Dolores is a Republican now, and she's not good for the city. She's a nice person, but she shouldn't be running. So right now it's Judy is the only Democrat in the race.
What about Tennille?
Tennille's not filed.
Well, I thought she had. I read that.
No, Tennille lives in wait, she does Tennille even live in Delray?
I know she's working, I guess she's HR director up in.
I read that too.
Is she now? Yeah. I hadn't heard that Tennille was filed. I don't think she has. I don't think she has. I just saw her recently. I think it's just Dolores and Judy right now in that for my seat. And then Angela Burns is running as well. No one, correct, just re-election.
Back in.
Yeah, she hasn't, no one has filed against Angela yet, but there's someone might. But
She'll be-
Angela's a good
I
campaigner.
think she's got it locked.
I do.
On wood.
I do too, but you never take it for granted, especially in Delray. Weird stuff happens. Sucks about Delray elections is there are no runoffs, and so people can get elected with like 30% of the vote, depending on the numbers.
Dangerous topic.
Can we do something about that?
I want to. I can't get buy-in from my colleagues to do it. I want runoffs in Delray Beach. No one should sit up there. Well, they ain't ever happened.
Some avoid the run. Somebody to avoid a run.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree, but I'm fine doing runoffs, frankly. No one should ever sit up there that can't get 50% of the vote, ever. Ever. And that's how we get some of the people that I have to serve with currently, frankly. They deliberately put other people in the race. That's what happened to Nicholas Coppola. He should have been up there. They put a Republican in the race, and Nez Bartholomew, who was a complete idiot, nobody, but the Republicans put money behind her, and they cut a deal with my current colleague, who I unseated, got back in with less votes than she got when I beat her. But because they had Inez in there picking up votes during the Republican primary, it cost Nick votes because my colleagues' voting population is very consistent. Those people always show up no matter what. So Nick was depending on whatever was left over because he was newer. He would have won that race without Inez being in it, period. And they knew that, and that's the game now. So they figured out how to game the system and get people in there that really don't represent the city. They represent a very small group. And it's just bad government. It's bad government. If that would have went to a heads up race, Nick would have won for sure if it would have been a runoff. So I would love to fix that before I leave. I don't think I can get all my colleagues on board with it. Angela would be on board with it. I don't think I can get the other three, which is what it is.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Well, anyway, any
I have one more.
Yeah.
I think I speak for everyone. God, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
This is no small matter.
of course, yeah. I'm happy to do it.
Looking into this chaos and this,
I got it.
it's so uneven and really deserve a lot of credit.
Thank you. That's so nice of you. I appreciate it.
Your campaign email, Rob, and I'll.
Sure, it's I'm sorry, rob@rob4florida.com. And it's the word for FOR, not the number.
Florida.com.
Yep,
Florida is spelled out.
yeah, yep.
Gotcha.
I have to question anybody's sanity who runs this.
Yeah.
I mean, just being on the board of an HOA, I can't imagine even being on
Oh,
the city
dude.
commission.
I was on our HOA board for a while, and before I would go on the commission, I had to leave it. And that was one of the most frustrating things I've ever done. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
It's they're so frustrating to be on.
I mean,
Someone's got to do it, you know?
it's your neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, when I moved in, the thing my mother said to me was, you tend to get involved in stuff. You will run for the board over my dead body.
Waited.
And literally, literally that did work out,
Yeah.
but. So no matter what you do, you're gonna piss someone off.
Oh, it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
It's about, like, past the midterm, like 2 years down the road, for a national election, like a landslide nationally for the Democrats. What are your thoughts about that? What's going on?
You know, someone told me once, don't ever try and predict politics more than about a year out.
Hope so.
You know,
You never know.
I never in a million years could have predicted I'd be running for 2025 special election. You know, too many things change. I never would in a million years thought Trump would get reelected. You know, but I didn't think Biden could win until COVID happened. You know what I mean? Like, so you just never know. You never know who's going to come out.
Yeah.
My fear is that they game the system so badly with gerrymandering, with taking over all the federal, courts and stuff that there is no path anymore. But I hope that's not the case.
It's gotta be an overwhelming vote.
Would have
It's
to.
gotta be an overwhelming.
The
vote. We have
thing,
to get MPAs,
we gotta take back Congress.
gotta get that out.
That's how we make Trump a lame duck. That is absolutely critical. Without that, I don't know. Right. Yeah.
We were just discussing something somewhere, and they said, well, that's blatantly unconstitutional. I said, it's only unconstitutional until the Supreme Court says, oh, do it the other way,
Yeah.
and then there's nowhere to go.
Yep.
And when they have such insanity on the Supreme Court, where does it say in the Constitution that it is, immune from, they could have put that in, they didn't.
Yep.
These are what's the word, the literalists, the originalists, it's not in there, and then just make it up.
We need to term limit the Supreme Court.
You need to.
Yeah, we should not have lifetime appointments.
You need to have some sort of.
Before you.
That's critical. That is critical.
There's been some good, that every president gets to a point one.
Yeah, maybe.
Just
Yeah,
every president gets to a point.
maybe. Yeah.
That you rig the terms that way.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Michael's not
No,
here.
of course. No, it was awesome being here with you guys.
John? Did everybody have enough chocolate?
Well, thank you guys. It was a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you, Rod.
Wayne, I got your info.
Okay, thank you, Rod. Keep in touch.
I'll get in touch with you on that issue.
Your email, your
Yeah.
website, so I can
Yeah.
have some ideas.
So my website's just robforflorida.com. My email's rob@robforflorida.com.
Rob, Florida.
rob4florida.com.
Number four? Number four?
The word for FOR. Yeah, rob4florida.com.
Ron?
Okay, goodbye, everybody out in Zoom land, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.